Hello and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. I'm Ryan. Last episode we punched space. We escaped the atmosphere. We did a bunch of missions. There's going to be some more missions. We're doing pretty good on money. As you can see here, we have $204,000. Is that enough to upgrade this? Yeah, it is. And because of that, I think we'll do it. We'll upgrade this. It's not just like a dirt pile we launch rockets off of anymore. I think reaching an orbit today is possible. Let's get after it. I guess, yeah, Gene's really fucking pumped. Let's do it. Let's take this contract to go to orbit. Landing gear in orbit. It's easy. A small landing gear. Piece of cake. We'll bring that with us. I guess we want to bring a Kerbal, too. I mean, we've kind of been doing this role-play thing where we didn't really want to get into the manned spaceflight immediately because that's not how, like, it happened in actual history. But we've been at it for a while. I think it's a fair time to give it a shot. Alright, so this is kind of a big purchase here, but I'm going to go ahead and get the MechJeb part, the part that lets you do MechJeb, the AR-202 case. It's $15,000, which is a big chunk of what we have here. It might even be about as much as this whole rocket's going to cost, but I think it's really useful, even if I don't use it when we're flying away, because it gives you the Delta V stats right here. For those of you who don't really understand what Delta V is, Delta is a symbol. It's that triangle thing right there, and it means change, and so change in V, change in velocity, and so a rocket's Delta V is its ability to change its speed. This rocket, with just this one engine and fuel tank so far, it's going to take 1 minute and 52 seconds for this engine to burn through all of this fuel, and in that amount of time, if it's in space, it'll be able to change its speed by 2,299 meters per second. And if it was in the atmosphere, it would only do that much. It would only do 567 because this engine does not work as well in the atmosphere. 10,000 Delta V is enough to do pretty much any mission I've ever tried to do in this game. That's like, depending on how you have it set up, that could be enough to go and land on Duna and come back. That could be enough to land on the Mun and then land on Minmus and come back. And so I think that's pretty cool. Delta V is really important to keep track of. That's that. I'm going to keep building this thing. This is our landing gear we got to test that I have on here stowed. Shit. Okay, so here it is. First vessel to orbit. It's only 2 stages, and it's pretty straightforward. Jeb's gonna fly it. Yeah, that's it. Wait a minute. It's boring as fuck. Anyone could do that. This is a basic ass rocket. It's no. We're not gonna do this. Absolutely not. Let's go to the fucking space plane hangar. We can do better than that shit. Yeah, no? Yeah, here it is. The Orbiter 1. Alright, okay, alright. Great start. Okay, let's separate this shit out. Now we're fucking talking. Alright, you're looking at the new and improved Orbiter 1. It was too boring before, was one of the main issues with it. Additionally... Oh shit. It was too boring before. Oh fuck, I didn't mean to do that. Pull up. Maybe it'll be okay. Pull up! Oh no. Alright, here it is, folks. The exciting way to achieve orbit. This is the OX-1. It's modeled after the X-1 rocket plane used by the United States Air Force to break the speed of sound in an aircraft for the first time. The X-1 program was a wild and highly secretive success. It wasn't a very well-kept secret. Pretty much every major aircraft-related newspaper managed to find out that the Air Force was breaking the speed of sound with these experimental planes. This is modeled after that. The X-1 did not have jet engines on it. The reason this has jet engines is because it needs to get off the ground. It needs to launch itself. I mean, the X-1 planes were traditionally dropped out of the bomb bays of very large aircraft, and we don't have a very large aircraft to drop this out of, so it's going to have to get itself up to altitude. There was only one X-1 flight that ever took off of a runway and wasn't deployed from a plane, and it was flown by Chuck Yeager on January 5th, 1949. And because the X-1 rocket planes were rocket planes, they were only powered by something similar to a solid fuel booster, he went very fast. I mean, he took off from a runway and he didn't get to do the nice old take off slow, pick up your landing gear, climb to altitude, whatever. He attained an altitude of 20,000 feet in 90 seconds. He got 2/3 of the way to where a passenger jet cruises in 90 seconds. And then he glided down for a landing. So we'll be recreating history here. Taking off in an X-1 similar aircraft off of a runway. Actually, I'm wrong. I lied to you. There's not a chance in hell we're taking off the runway with this thing, because our runway is a pile of shit, and I don't really care to upgrade it. You might have noticed just now that we are launching this from the spaceplane hangar, which we haven't upgraded, so that means that just now we had a part limitation of 30 parts that we met exactly with this thing, if you can believe it. Oh man, I hope we can get down this bump successfully. I mean, tons of experimental planes in the past have been tested on salt flats and dry lake beds and stuff, so I mean, it's not totally ridiculous that we're just going to take this off of the land. Take off on this big open area of land instead of that real shitty runway. So let's throttle up. The goal for this aircraft is to take off of the ground and get to maybe about 10,000 meters just on jet power before we fire the solid rocket booster, which should be nice and interesting. And then hopefully the solid rocket booster can get us close to space, and then we have a liquid fuel stage that should get us all the way into space. Of course, the X-1 program didn't really go to space. I mean, they went very high into the atmosphere, into regions that are probably technically... Oh no. Let's try that again. Unlike the X-1 program, the objective of this craft is to get into space. And not just get into space, get into fucking orbit. Because we're not here to mess around, we're here to make some awesome shit happen. We've got contracts we need to uphold. This front landing gear that we're using on the ground right now, you notice how it's on this upper stage, because that's actually the one we plan on bringing into orbit to test for that contract. So that'll be interesting if we can pull that off. So just now when we tried, we scraped... Right! Why did that lag so bad? Why? Why? What the hell? Maybe try taking off on the runway? Just for shits and giggles? Just to see how that goes? Oh shit, we're gonna hit that bump. Here, let's try to use this nice grassy strip next to the runway. SAS on. I think I forgot that a couple of the previous times. Oh, we're on the slanted part. Holy shit. Did not intend to do that. Right, can we pull up? Please? Please? Fuck! Easy. Easy. I tried to get the parachute out. I couldn't do it. Tell you what, I did not envision this takeoff being so difficult. I think I know why they only did it with the X-1 one time. I don't think we're gonna hit that building. Are we gonna hit that building? I don't think we'll hit that building. Oh my god, we hit the ramp. Come on, get up! Fuck. Yeah, shit. Yeah, shit. Okay. That's okay. We added some big old wings. The X-1 did actually have kind of square wings. Kind of like this. I mean, if you ignored these front ones and... Okay, it doesn't look like an X-1 at all, but it had wings like this, I swear. It had wings like these, not like these. Maybe it'll just create so much lift that everything will work out dandy. It's not doing that. Oh shit. Oh boy. Okay. Right, we've taken off with some pretty damn good speed. I might point out. And we're still accelerating. Okay, Jeb's fucking excited. Jeb is so ready to be the first Kerbal to achieve orbit. He's been dreaming about this his whole time that he's been here. Oh, thank fuck that finally worked. What's your view like, Jeb? Well, you're in a capsule, kind of similar to like a Gemini capsule, I guess. And, you can't see shit. How do you fly this thing like this, Jeb? I can't believe it. I guess, like, mission control just gives him, like, hugely specific directions that he follows. He sure as hell can't see where he's going. Gaining speed, gaining altitude, steadily. Oh my god, I think it's gonna work. I think this whole fucking thing's gonna work. Oh. We're not gaining speed anymore. Oh, it's starting to go down. We are still steadily increasing in altitude, but our surface speed started to go down. I think our main goal is to just get as high as we can before we launch the solid fuel engine. We want to get all that atmosphere out of our way, and because I mean we have to be above 70,000 meters to be out of the atmosphere, to be in a stable orbit. But also, we can't eject these jet engines. They're coming with us so long as we have the solid fuel booster with us. So if we could use up all the fuel in them before we launch that, that would be for the best, because it would mean our whole vessel would be lighter. Bye, Ice Cream Mountain. Alright, our surface speed is still steadily going down. We're pretty far from the KSC. Our vertical speed was about here, about right where the tip of my cursor is, and now it's at like 6 meters per second. 6 meters of altitude gained per second. And I think it's about to be time to launch the solid fuel booster. We're not quite as high as I was hoping we'd get to. I'm going to wait right until the vertical speed gets 0, right? We're at the peak of our flight path. Altitude's just ticking on by. So it's still going up ever so slightly. Alright, let's go. Let's pull up. Let's get up and out of this atmosphere. We don't want to steer too much because as this solid fuel engine burns, the center of mass is moving steadily forward because of this fuel going down, and it weighs so much. The plane gets less and less stable, and so you don't want to be doing a lot of maneuvering while it's doing all that. I'm going to go ahead and enable roll control on these wings so that whenever it ejects, it'll be able to steer itself really well. That's the jet engines running out of oxygen to breathe. Just nice and quiet now without that whiny ass noise from those engines. Getting a little hot, breaking the speed of sound. About to run out of solid fuel in a moment here. Okay. What are we at? What's our apoapsis? 33,000. That's not out of the atmosphere. Let's cut throttle all the way down. Eject that. See? It's creating a lot of drag. Let's see. We're in very, very thin atmosphere here, which is good because this engine is very efficient in space. Let's start burning now. Holy shit. This might actually work. Apoapsis is getting nice and high. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Look at that apoapsis. That's fucking great. 58,000, 59,000, 60,000. I don't know if you can read that. That text is really small. I'm going to have to figure out how to make that bigger. But, man, our orbital speed's really good. Okay, we're actually... Cut the engines. We're going to cut the engines. We're going to coast up to 76,000 meters. And we're going to burn again when we're close to that. Because for rounding out your orbit, it's good to burn when you're close to your apoapsis. And for this engine, it's better for it to burn when it's not in the atmosphere. So all the more reason to just hold off for a moment. We should be able to see the stars soon because the sky is all black and the atmosphere is mostly below us. There's the moon there. You can see some stars starting to fade in. Nope, that's bits of dirt on my screen. Never mind, you can't see any stars. Oh, now. Oh. Holy shit, Jeb. Wow. Wow. KSC's right about there. That's Little Island with the other runway. We did a contract in like that vicinity, I think. I think that's the Ice Cream Mountain. Holy cow. Holy cow. We're about to escape the atmosphere. We've done it. The music's changed. That's how you know for sure that you're out of the atmosphere, when the music changes. Actual astronauts rely on that fact, that the music around you always changes right as you escape the atmosphere. Let's start burning about now. And we're burning right onto the horizon, which, I don't know. I think that's a good way to do it. Oh man, this is looking good for us. This is looking good for us. We want this line to get slowly pushed up until it comes out of the other side, and we have a nice circular path around the whole planet. Another way to know when you're near your apoapsis is your vertical speed. Right when you're at your apoapsis, your vertical speed becomes negative because the apoapsis is the highest point in your flight path, and when you pass it, you'll start going down. We're almost there. You can tell by the vertical speed up here. And apoapsis. Let's burn. Without using the map, we could just burn until this says we're in an orbit right here, because you can see the camera wobbling. We're in an orbit. Holy shit, we've completed the goal of orbiting Kerbin. We can run a test on this landing gear, complete the other contract. Contract work done. Jebediah, I can't get out of this craft, even though it would be really fun, because we haven't been able to purchase that upgrade yet for the astronaut complex. Our apoapsis is now over there. The spot we were just burning out is now the lowest point because of how high we made the other side of our orbit. Beautiful. Holy shit.